So here Jesus is, walking along and encounters this man who was blind from birth. The story continues in John 9. After this man's neighbors begin to question him, the Pharisees show up and they join the questioning party. And they keep going after him and going after him and questioning him about this man who has given him his sight. To the point where this man comes up with a brilliant comeback and says, "Are you trying to be Jesus' disciples? You're asking so many questions." The Pharisees didn't like that very much. And so they cast this man out of the temple. And I continue reading at verse 35, John 9:35. Jesus heard that they had cast him out. And having found him, Jesus said, "Do you believe in the Son of Man?" He answered, "And who is he, sir, that I may believe in him?" Jesus said to him, "You have seen him, and it is he who is speaking to you." The man said, "Lord, I believe." And he worshiped him. Jesus said, "For judgment I came into this world, that those who do not see may see, and those who see may become blind." Some of the Pharisees near him heard these things and said to him, "Are we also blind?" Jesus said to them, "If you were blind, you would have no guilt. But now you say, 'We see,' your guilt remains." This is an amazing text that we are given today in our study of John. It continues on in chapter 10 with Jesus speaking about hearing, how his followers will know his voice, will hear his voice. And his followers will know him and he will know them. I'm stealing from your thunder a little bit next week, Pastor Park. Sorry about that. But this is a whole story. And it's interesting to me how it really hinges on our senses. Have any of you ever experienced one of your senses going away for a little while, or going away completely? It's disconcerting, isn't it? Our senses are so integral to how we experience the world. And when one of those things changes for us, it can be really, really unsettling. It changes how we experience everything. To give us a little bit of an understanding, maybe to see what that's like, I would like to watch a short little clip about hearing. It's not the same thing as sight, but I think it'll give us a little taste of what that might feel like. And I need to apologize because I didn't let our sound people know. So Drew and Mike, I apologize for that. But if we could see just the first about minute and 18 seconds of this video, I would appreciate it.
Recording. Lachlan. First hearing aid.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. This is the big moment here.
She's gonna hear something. We don't really know what.
We're gonna roll this on. I'm gonna pushing your head just a little bit.
There you go. Beeping. So now technically your device is on. Can you tell? You said you hear it. Hey, I sound. You're hearing yourself better. Okay, you can cry. That's okay. Hi, Cooper. Hi, Cooper. Hi, Cooper.
Bop, 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 bop.
Hi, baby.
That gives you just a little taste of how life-changing this moment was for this man that was just sitting on the side of the road, minding his own business in his everyday life, doing what he ordinarily did every single day. He didn't run after Jesus. He didn't say, hey, I know you can do things. I need help. He was just sitting on the side of the road, and Jesus shows up. And his whole life changed. Amazing, right? Powerful, right? And to go from that moment to have all of your neighbors and your friends and the people that surround you say, now wait a minute. Now really what happened here? That bothers me. How can you take this moment and pick it apart? Encounters with Jesus change us. The blessing we have this Advent season, this season where we celebrate the coming of Christ, is that we get to celebrate a God that continues to show up in our lives over and over and over and over again. So after this picking apart by the man's neighbors and the Pharisees, it gets to the point where he is cast out of the temple. And who shows up yet again? Anybody remember? It's the Bible school answer. Jesus. Yes. Thank you. Yes, Jesus shows up yet again, goes and seeks him out and finds him. Jesus isn't just there on the mountaintop experiences when life is great and we're feeling really close to God and everything is wonderful. Jesus comes and finds us when things get tough. That's what we are celebrating this Christmas, my friends. That's what this coming of Christ is all about. Jesus with us in the muck and the mess and the painful stuff. So as you go through this week, doing those last-minute things, preparing, getting ready for family coming from afar, I invite you to take some time to slow down and celebrate those moments in your life when you know that God shows up. Celebrate that we have a Christ, a God, a Lord that comes again and again and again and seeks us out. Seeks us out and changes us. Thanks be to God. Amen.